Hello, everyone. I'm Coach Frannie, and welcome to Christian Couples Couch. So today we will be talking about why your purpose is important, okay? Why your purpose is important. First, let me say this. If you don't know what your purpose is, I'm glad that you came to watch this video. I'm glad that you're watching this video because your purpose is essential. Your purpose is the reason why you are in this world. Like, if you don't know your purpose, what are you doing? What are you really doing with your life? Are you just surviving, going day to day? You're not actually receiving the abundance of life if you're not living out your purpose, okay? First off, your purpose always is for the kingdom, okay? So whatever your purpose is, it is for the upbuilding of the kingdom of God. Your purpose is not just for you. Your purpose is not just for financial gain and success. Your purpose is supposed to bless others. And it's supposed to help build up the kingdom. Okay, first and foremost. Now, my issue is that a lot of people who don't know what their purpose is, it's really not their fault. It's because your parents did not know you well enough to know what your purpose was. It starts with childhood, okay? It starts with childhood. From the time that you are an infant, as you grow up, if you are the type of parent who has a relationship with your children, then you should know what your children's gifts and purpose is. Now, first, before I go into that, let me explain that gifts and talents are not the same thing. However, your talents could also be your gifts, but it doesn't mean that it has to be. There are a lot of people out here who can sing, but that's not their gift. Their gift may be acting. Okay, their gift may be poetry. Their gift may be preaching. I know a lot of preachers who can sing, but it's just a talent that they have. Their gift is whatever the calling is that God has on their life. Now, granted, even your talents can be used for the kingdom, but your gift, your purpose, that is what you were truly called to do. Okay? That is what is going to bring in the abundance. Okay? Your gift, your purpose brings in the abundance. All right? So, now back to what I was saying. If you are a parent and you don't know what your child's gift is, I don't know how to say this in a nice way, but you are failing your child. This is why we have so many 30 and 40-year-olds walking around being a jack of all trades, but a master of none. They're doing this, they're doing that, they're doing this. They try this, they try a little bit of this, they try a little bit of that, and nothing works out. They're confused, they're depressed because they don't feel fulfilled, because nothing that they are doing brings fulfillment, because it's not their purpose. They are not walking in their calling. They are not doing what God has placed them here to do. Let me tell you something. Your gift is not something that you have to search for. Your gift is already inside of you. Okay? Your gift, God placed your gift inside of you upon conception. So when your mother and father created you, your gift was already placed inside of you. God knew what your purpose was going to be before you were even created. He knew about you before you were even formed in your mother's womb. He has a purpose for you. Okay? And so it is so important that we walk in our purpose. So if you are a parent and you do not know what your child's purpose is, and your child is 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 20, 25, 30, what are you doing? Don't get so caught up in working that you in providing for your children that you forget to have a relationship with them. You should know what your child's purpose is, and that comes from you having a relationship with them. A relationship is not you paying the bills. A relationship is not, you feeding them and just providing for them. Those are the basic essentials and necessities that are needed, that you need to provide as a parent. But let's go a little deeper. Relationship. We all know that with a relationship, that means that something has to be cultivated. You have to spend time, quality time. Any relationship. If you have a relationship with God, you can't just say, I have a relationship with God. You may know God. That doesn't mean that you have a relationship with God. Okay? It's easy to open up the Bible and learn about the character of God and the things that God has done. But that does not mean that you know God because you have read about him or you heard about him. You may not know me. You may know of me and have heard of me. You may watch my videos, but that doesn't mean that you know me. In order to truly know a person, you must have a relationship with them. If you want to have a relationship with God, what do you have to do? You have to pray. You have to fast. You have to take time to talk to the Lord. Talk to the Lord and listen, right? So when you're in your secret closet and you're praying, you don't just get on your knees and talk to God. You also get on your knees and listen, because he needs to speak back to you, right? It's not a one-sided thing, okay? And you are also asking God, what can I do? How can I build up the kingdom? Use me, Lord. It's not just about, Lord, I need you to bless me. Oh, I need you to bless me. Oh, what can you do for me? Oh, Lord, I need this. I need. A real relationship, it goes both ways, right? So you must communicate. You must spend time together. So if you have a child, you are a parent, you need to be spending quality time with your child. Because if you're not, there's a lot about your child that you don't know. And it's impossible to know it if you're not building a relationship with them. If you're a father and you have a son, have some father-son time. Take your son out to dinner. Have a conversation with him. Find out what he likes, what he doesn't like, what hurts him, what makes him sad, what makes him happy. You need to know these things. Same thing with your daughter. If you are a father or a mother, you need to know your children. Because if you know them, the sooner that you can get them started in their purpose, which means less time that they will waste on this earth. You do not want your child to grow up and just be wandering around. You don't want them to wander around like they're in the wilderness, lost, don't know what to do, okay? Getting into relationships that they shouldn't get into because they don't know who they are or whose they are, okay? You don't want them to work this job and that job and this job and that job, wasting time, not walking in their purpose. So they're not doing anything that's fulfilling or truly blessing anyone, including themselves. So, and it's definitely not bringing glory to God because God has so much more for them. So first off, you have to spend time with your children to truly know them and to know what their purpose is. So they should be, your child should know their purpose from a young age so that they can begin to walk in it at a young age. Okay? Maybe you say, well, I never knew my purpose. If you didn't know your purpose, then that's an issue also. But you knew how you felt walking around confused, and maybe you didn't even walk into your calling until you were in your 40s. So you know how it feels to waste time. Don't let your children waste time. Don't let your children waste time. You can't get that time back, right? Every day that we are blessed with is a gift from God. We don't want to take it for granted. We want to be purposeful in our purpose. So if you are an adult and you don't know what your purpose is, this is what I recommend to you. Get to know your creator. Who better to tell you what your purpose is than the very one who created you? Your creator knows everything about you. He made you special and he loves you. And he made you with a purpose. It was placed inside of you a long time ago. He knew what your purpose was back when your grandmother's 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 grandmother was in this world, okay? You are not here by mistake. Your life has a purpose and it has a plan. And so get to know the Lord. You get to know the Lord and ask him, what is my purpose? What is my true calling? What do I need to do? And I'm not telling you that you should only do one thing. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that you can have a lot of talents, but you could have one gift. You may have two gifts and a lot of talents. You may, I don't know your personal story, but what I do know is that you can do many things, but your purpose and your calling, that's number one. And you have to know that so that you don't waste time. Pay attention to what makes your child happy. What brings a smile to their face? What they just naturally do. You could very well be raising a director. They always have a camera. They're walking around recording everything. Or a commentator. Or, I mean, you just never know. You just really have to pay attention to your children. My daughter, my youngest daughter, she walks around all the time. She has a whole conversation with herself like she's like a reporter or something. And she talks about how she's signing this multi-million-dollar shoe deal and how she's about to go play basketball overseas, and she'll have her little baby dolls and she'll be like, Mommy, I need you to watch my babies because I have to go travel overseas for a game. And I listen to these things, and then she'll be like, welcome. She makes up these basketball teams. Like, she makes up these basketball teams. She makes up names for players. And she tells me like how much each player is going to make and what position that they play. And she'll tell me that she signed a multi-million-dollar deal. And so and I listen to these things and I'm like, either my baby is going to be a superstar WNBA player, or she's going to be a GM. She may be both. She might do both. But I also noticed that just naturally, she just walks around the house singing. Ever since she was a baby. So when she was an infant and she would cry, her dad, my husband, would play Sade. And that would put her back to sleep. And so even when she was a little baby, if there was no music playing, she would hum herself to sleep. It was soothing for her. So you could hear her in her crib like, and she would just hum, and it would soothe her and put her to sleep. And here she is now, 9 years old, and she sings. She just sings. She just naturally sings. She loves to sing. She loves music, and she has a nice voice. And I told my husband, we have to get her in music lessons because she loves to sing. My baby loves music. She's gonna probably be a writer. She's gonna be a singer, and she loves basketball, and she's really good. So, but my job as a parent is to invest in all of those things, and the cream will rise to the top. So whatever it is that is truly in her heart to do, it's gonna rise to the top. Whatever her true calling is, it's gonna rise to the top. But my job as her mother, with her being so young, is to invest in all of those things so that we can see what it is that she was truly placed here to do. And so if we don't do that, we fail our children. You have to invest in your children. Don't invest in sneakers and clothes and things like that. Invest in things that really matter. Invest in things that they're good at, And this is my thing, because money doesn't come easy. I'm not just going to put you in something. Like, you have to show me that that's something that you're really good at, or something that you're even willing to try to train yourself to do And that shows me your commitment, so that I can then commit to you and commit to that dream or that vision that you have. So my oldest daughter, she loved gymnastics, and she would listen. This girl taught herself how to do a aerial. I believe it's called an aerial, when you do the flip with no hands. And I was like, she taught herself to do this. And I would see her try and try and try again. And I'm like, this is a passion of hers. This is in her heart. I have to invest in that, because if I don't, I'll let her down if I don't. And so I said all that to say this: observe, pay attention, have a relationship with your children, so that you can know from a young age what their gifts are. They may have one, they may have several, but whatever it is, it should be used for the kingdom. And you do a disservice to your child if you don't invest in them, if you don't pay attention to them. Okay? And you do a disservice to yourself also if you don't know what your gift is, if you don't know what your calling is, if you don't know what your purpose is. We don't have time to waste. The graveyard is filling up, and you don't want to be buried with your purpose. You want your purpose to go forth. You want it to go out and bless people, so that when it's all said and done, God can say, well done, my good and faithful servant. Because you utilized what he gave you for the kingdom. You utilized it to bless other people. And you were able to live out your purpose. And you lived a fulfilling life because of it. God did not create you to wake up, go to work, pay bills, and die. He did not. He created you for a purpose. Your life has a purpose. There's so much in this world to see. There is so much that needs to be done. And you, my friend, have a duty, you have a calling, you have a purpose. If you don't know it, you need to pray and get to know your Creator and build a relationship with God, so that he can reveal to you what your purpose is. And if you have a child, you need to get to know your child right now, so that they don't end up wandering around in the wilderness, not knowing what their purpose is, making mistakes, doing things that they should not be doing, that does not serve them and that does not serve the kingdom. Maybe you did do those things and you know what it feels like to be lost. Don't allow your children to be lost. I love you. Thank you so much for watching my video. Comment down below. Tell me what you think. And until we meet again, I love you. God bless.